Okay, so this is a new series of the New Champions Protocol called New Justice. And in the New Justice series, the team is going to be exploring um, how to basically restore justice when society is corrupt now, or at least the powers of society are behaving under Dr. Destroyer's control. Um, Several series ago, the team rescued um, Judge Osborne in I forget what the name of the series was, but his daughter had been kidnapped in a ring that was being perpetrated through the police. And when
Courthouse, I believe it was called.
yeah, the new champions helped foil that plot, and Judge Osborne was going to convict several of the Boomslang and Gorgon and several of the others. And at that moment, they busted out, and the new champions protected Judge Osborne, got him out of harm's way. But he, as he was running and escaping, um, went down an alley, and folks in cloaks basically grabbed him and vanished him, disappeared with him into thin air. Well, the team is trying to find where he is, and that same MO has been. Oh, we lost somebody. Kurt. That same MO has been happening a lot, and the new champions are basically trying to find out who is this organization that's taking up people. My ping for folks is pretty bad right now. I don't know if everybody else is having the same dilemma.
Yeah, your voice is sometimes cracking.
Going through puberty?
Not that
I got a
cracking.
BSOD. I got a BSOD. That's what I got now.
I don't know what that means. BSOD. What does that mean?
Blue screen of death. Yeah. Blue screen of death.
Oh, that is terrible.
Ouch.
Yeah, I hate those.
Those are virtually unknown nowadays.
Well, we'll continue on and include you when you get back in. We'll get you back in.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too long. Shouldn't be too long, guys. Sorry about that.
So the team is trying to find out who this organization is that's taking up people, because it's happening a lot over town, near explosions and robberies and bank heists and the like. I'm hesitating because everybody's ping is so bad right now. 999s across the board.
Well, it's actually just you. I'm seeing everybody between 100 and 150, and I see you between 200 and 999.
Maybe it's my internet connection?
Yep.
You put that Wi-Fi antenna up on top of Devil's Tower?
Are you hardwired, or are you, Wi-Fi?
I am Wi-Fi,
internet?
but my Wi-Fi connection is strong, so I don't think it's that.
Uh-huh. No.
Oh.
Kurt's back in.
Well, looks like everything's okay for now. Nonetheless, so we have some new players tonight. Kurt playing Dragon Lady, and Brian playing the Hotshot. And we're going to try to see if we can play a little bit of the scene, introduce some of these new players. We also have some of our original cast with us. Pan Piper, Amaraka playing Cypher, Rampage playing Sandcrab, Little Rocket played by Jerry JV, and Maximum Resistance played by DeRoche. If I sound like I'm rushing, it's because I am, because I've said this 3 times already, and I'm not going to say it again. So if this crashes again, sorry, anybody of our 9 listeners, I'm not doing it again. Okay, so Hotshot is on the west side of town in the manufacturing district, and there's an explosion while she is in her parents' old manufacturing building, and the next door is the gasoline station that is exploding now, or is under flames. And on the PA, or maybe the loudspeaker, these mech creatures are basically telling everyone, evacuate the area. This is an entirely under control event. But you can see there are flamethrowers throwing flames onto that building, right? They are not trying to put it out. Hotshot, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds just to kind of tell folks what you were doing there and what's happening with you, and maybe give you a couple of actions as you act heroically, maybe for the first of a couple of times.
Sure. Howdy, I'm Brian. My character, the hotshot, her parents vanished the night of the vanishing, and her older brother and sister have been searching for them ever since. And it turns out that the company that they thought was just a solar energy provider was actually a manufacturing, maybe not a manufacturing, but a design firm for space-based weapons, like handheld weapons for like colonization or whatever. Who knows? Anyway, so as time had passed, they started to learn more and more bits and pieces about what their parents had done, and they still hadn't found out where her parents are, but they did find a cache in a storage locker that had some parts to make a prototype of what they put together and became the heater. And it turns out that the hotshot, whose name was Jasmine, was a good shot, and it was determined from the brothers and sisters that she would be the one that went out and did things, while the other two stayed back in what they call the bunker, which is just some trailers outside of the Detroit Armory, as sort of like cyber warfare and or communications, the Oracle type of a job. And so we've decided that today she's going to be, for whatever reason, in this old abandoned warehouse, maybe searching for some sort of old clue, or for whatever reason she's there, and that's where my character is starting tonight. And so, yeah, I am playing the hotshot. Basically, her special effect is fiction, because I didn't want to do the whole I've just got an energy blast. And right now, she doesn't even know she has any real powers. She's more or less just a young woman in a leather jacket with a gun that's going out looking for clues about the whereabouts of her parents. So she's really way in over her head. All right, thanks, Jason.
Yeah, so you get I appreciate the intro, and there's a bit of a story there. And the hotshot is in that building, and I'll give you a couple of actions as you respond to the explosion and the announcement. You're in that building, and you see the flames and hear the flamethrowers. What's the hotshot going to do? She's in that kind of antenna building.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take a look and see what's going on. I don't know which side of the building I'm on, but it doesn't seem like there's any windows on the side facing this gas station.
Yep.
Maybe I'll try to, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to head up under the roof if I can find some stairs or something.
Okay, so we will have you heading up on the roof, and it's going to take you a couple of seconds to do that, maybe 30 or 45 seconds. And in Champions time, that's like how many rounds of combat?
Many.
We could never get through all that. So while you're doing that, I'm going to introduce Dragon Lady. Dragon Lady, this explosion in this part of town is not too far from the underground portion of Chinatown. In Millennium City now, there is a underground Chinatown. And I'm going to take this smoke off because it is beautiful. And I wonder if it's causing the problem. We'll just pray as well. So anyway, so the underground Chinatown in Millennium City spans pretty far. It's got lots of tunnels and networks. And maybe as you were kind of getting settled into Chinatown, you heard an explosion from above, because that's just where you were at the happenstance moment. And maybe introduce yourself to those who may be listening, and why you are even in Millennium City's Chinatown at this moment. And what would you do? I'll give you a couple of actions as well. That was a mouthful. Sorry.
Okay, sure. So my name is Kurt, and I am playing Dragon Lady. And Dragon Lady is a martial artist. And in, of course, true cinematic fashion, this would be a flashback montage, or a set of panels, each showing the flashback. So she was originally a cop in China who was mortally wounded, but she was saved by a protector spirit of a mystical temple. And she was imbued with the power of the temple, which gave her superpowers. And she also learned 4 different Chinese martial arts. And she has been sent by this mystical temple in China because they have detected a great ritual, the ritual of the Ancestor, which is a recent storyline that the group did. And they have sent her on over to Millennium City via Mystic Portal to investigate what exactly happened, as well as deal with the aftermath and protect the Chinatown of Millennium City. So with her overhearing this explosion, she's going to head to the nearest tunnel and follow the sound of the explosion, as she is concerned that this might possibly impact Chinatown or have something to do with her investigation.
Yeah, so in a portion of and first, thanks for the introduction, and we're glad to have you with us. The not pictured on this scene is a street. So this kind of you see where the garbage truck is over here?
Yes, I do.
In the actual street scene, there is a sewer panel there. And if you were to come up from the underground, that would be where you would bring. So if you want to put your character there, just near that garbage truck, that's the closest you can get from Chinatown. But instead of doing that, you have disconnected, as well as Brian has disconnected.
I'm sorry if it was me doing it.
First of the new guys.
Mm-hmm. Both the new guys. As I introduced them.
Are we still recording?
We are, and I'm blaming.
Can I just add to one thing that my character's token was made by Jason?
Oh no.
And
I didn't make it. I bought it. I don't make much.
Oh.
Well, no.
Anyway.
I did do a little bit of editing and added the gun and some of the effects on it. So yeah, I had a hand.
Did you get any of that? Unfortunately, I got this pinwheel of death as soon as you suggested moving my miniature.
We didn't get any of it. It was wonderful. We got the explanation of why you were sent here and that stuff, but we didn't get you, if you came up from underground in front of that garbage truck.
Sure, absolutely. You can move my miniature there.
I will do that for you. And I'm sorry to have spoken over you, Brian, but I appreciate the kudos as well. Thank you.
Well, I wasn't done.
Oh, we'll go right ahead if you want to speak still.
Well, and it was Jason that gave the hot shot that sort of a Winter Soldier look. But I was the one that I'm taking credit for the little red cape.
Oh yeah, I did have to add that cape. Yeah.
Yeah, you did a fine job with that little red cape.
Getting in close on the zoom in of that. That is nice.
Now I'm totally out of Steam and Tabletop Simulator.
Well, we've got you up on the roof now.
All right.
Okay, and the same with Dragon Lady. We've got you in front of this garbage truck, and I'm sure you all will get connected again soon enough. For the rest of the new champions, you all have been monitoring the kind of the airwaves for explosions and big heists and things like this. Maybe hoping to find the group that is taking out people. With this explosion, I think it would pique the interest of the new champions. I hope it does, or else we're not really going to have much to game tonight. But would you all try to come on site here?
Yeah.
Yes.
If anybody radios Ghost will show up.
Yeah, and Reinforce would.
Okay.
You spoiled the moment of silence.
no one calls out for Ghost. Sorry, Ghost.
She's not exactly social.
That's funny.
Test.
I'm going to project the grid onto the stuff.
So interestingly enough, my computer like seized up for a minute. My voice was like sporadic. Sometimes I hear a couple words, and then finally, tabletop crashed. But Steam and Discord are still up. So I tried to start Tabletop Simulator again, and it says that my files are not synced. So it seems to be a Steam.
Yeah, Steam or tabletop problem.
Yeah.
Good.
So
I
I'm
never want it
restart.
to be my fault.
Yeah.
Because it easily could be. Okay, so I see some of the new champions coming onto the scene. Are any of the others?
From where would we arrive?
I think you all get to make that decision.
So can I arrive right behind the giant robots?
You can.
Oh, okay.
Let's
Actually,
not bring the Big Macs. Let's bring the Little Macs.
I know someone needs to do a Ant-Man style.
Max would actually look for a high point, so he would probably pop in.
Uh-oh. Everything's freezing up for me.
I'm gonna say Max looks like he just face planted into the wall.
Sorry, I had to step away. No,
And there it is.
I just disconnected.
Wyoming?
Why is it? No, but let's say it's Steam. Let's say
Oh,
it's...
okay, sure.
Yeah.
Darn it, Steam.
I say when you turn the table on next, turn off all the fire and sound effects just to see.
Yeah, I think so too. I am going to also...
and
maybe I'm
I was
also
going to say, go ahead and
restart everything. I'm just going to do clean all of it.
I was going to say also get rid of the entangle.
New guys.
No, the rock. Yeah, no.
Second that vote.
Yeah, no.
Oh, God.
That is not the intention here. Just
They're
want to get...
stealing my XP.
I just want to get everybody brought in. Okay, let me see if I can figure out how to get those flames off. No, now we lost Ghost.
I'll be right back. Just a short little break.
Now, Ghost is probably gonna get all the way out of Steam and everything anyway, because problems he has every time.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is a cause for celebration. I think I'll go get a second beer.
Okay, I'm going to just remove all the flames, I think.
And go ahead and delete Rocket's entangle.
Yeah. That's kind of disappointing.
It's neat, but it is. Yeah, but it's adding a little bit to the processor intensity, something like that.
I would just like to have the scene instead of crashing. So
yeah.
So is the table loadable?
I'm going to put out the asset again. There is nothing animated except for the mechs, which I can't do anything about right now. But that's not a whole lot of animation.
But is it safe to join?
You know, I don't want to say yes, because I might jinx it. But it's worth an attempt. I'm going to save. You know, I've had my scotch sitting in front of me this whole time and haven't taken a sip. That's probably what I need to do.
There's
I
your
think-
problem.
I just need
It's
to.
like alcohol abuse.
I'm abusing it from not having. I'm abusing the alcohol. The
Exactly.
alcohol is abused,
Think about how it feels not getting drank.
and it's good
Just sitting
stuff
there.
too. That's probably what I'm gonna take a sip. That'll change everything. Yeah. That feels better. I prepared this awesome scene with smoke and flames and flamethrowers and
New players and everything's going your way, and it
doesn't work. You know what I'm going to
doesn't
do is I'm going to just load up on RAM as much as I can possibly have in this thing.
Okay, I'm not seeing any real difference in ping times to other people now between this and with the fire out.
Yeah, it didn't really matter.
My ping times went from in the hundreds down to 50 and 70.
Well,
To who?
Yeah, maybe that
Pretty much
helps.
everybody.
You're not even logged in all the way yet, so
Oh, sure. Rub it in.
Okay, so let's continue on. I've got what is it? Max's face planted on the. Right. Here we go.
yeah. Okay.
perfect landing.
Does he want to be?
Somewhere up on this roof. I want to be able to overlook things.
And I think he needs to be a little bigger, so the hexes are proper sized.
Okay.
Which is not
There's hexes. I didn't see those until now.
so it's giant.
See, so I'd come in.
Same thing. I'm going to make Ghost a little bigger.
Oh, I'm gray. That's why.
Okay.
Like, it
So
won't let me click on anybody.
new champions are arriving on the scene. You can go ahead and place yourself wherever you'd like to be.
Ghost
Well,
is
I've
near the
put
police
Cypher
car.
up on the roof over here.
Okay, I see.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, great.
What-
Ghost.
Which way were you coming in, Ghost?
Say again. Ghost is up in the air about 20 meters, just behind the police car.
Oh, okay.
Ghost, you would hear in that car a person kind of cursing, asking for help. Neighborhood gas station under attack by flamethrowers, and there's kind of like a communication back. This is sanctioned. Get your nose out of this business. It's none of your business. And the police officer is having this kind of conversation. But there are people in there. I see people, cars right there. Innocent lives are in danger.
Okay, Ghost's first action will be to fly down to the level of the police car's side window. She'll look in the side window, and through his loudspeakers, he'll hear Ghost's voice telling him, "We'll take care of this. Evacuate the civilians."
He's very alarmed by the kind of profile that you cast, and
That's
speaking
appropriate.
through the radio, and he says, "But there are, I know, Old Man Smithers is in the gas station, and he's got his kiddos in the back room. I can evacuate the folks out here, but what about the ones that are in that gas station?"
Back room, you say?
Yeah.
I'll get them.
This is his beat. He knows these places, and he's worried about Smithers.
That's appropriate.
Okay, so he gets out of the car, and he is kind of going into these other buildings and just making sure people are getting out of the buildings.
Ghost, you gonna let Rocket know what he said?
Yeah, she'll put on she'll put out to our fobs by radio. There are civilians inside the burning gas station.
Okay.
Roger that.
So I'm going to put us in battle phases so that we can be fair. And I
Okay.
know that some of our players aren't in the table yet because of reconnecting issues.
Just reserve any action they get if they're not here when their turn comes up.
Yeah, and I think they could actually tell me what they want to do,
True. Yeah.
and we could keep it going.
And I can't activate my lightning reflexes.
Oh,
Well, that's something that can be remembered.
Maybe you should try like stretching warm up exercises or something.
it's a practical
No,
problem.
usually when we have these drops, when I get the sheet back, I can't click on those.
Maybe I can. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can just add.
Yeah, it's under
that.
combat. Oh, okay.
Well, you're not a Black Talon agent.
Oh wait.
Or is he?
There's a whole
You're a
lot.
little small for a Black Talon agent.
Maybe that's how they fit inside.
That's it. That's all Little Rocket's family that drives those.
Oh gosh! Did we get somebody
he-
back in?
Kurt,
He turned traitor on them.
I think I'm connecting. Let's see. I'm going to try putting my Discord on my phone and my tabletop simulator on my computer. Let's see if that helps.
The other way around is much harder.
there we go. That got it.
Awesome.
Hey.
Okay, do you have it turned on?
Yes.
Okay. So it's showing up as an 18, is
No.
that right? Or should
No,
it?
it should be shown.
Okay, I'm going to end the combat. End the combat. Try again. Color. No, it still has you as an 18.
What's it got now? Well, in the I know when I was playing with it the other day, when it's actually in combat, you can see that it changes.
No, it still has you as
It's
18.
not here.
Although,
I'm going to end the combat one more time, see if we can just make this thing work. Bring everybody back in. Sorry, everybody. If you're a fan of Champions, you are not put off by slow-moving combat.
Simulationist game.
Yeah.
Question about my character.
Yeah.
You think? I mean, obviously, anyone living in the current times would understand that things had changed. And I guess it's pretty open that Dr. Destroyer has more or less taken over the world.
Yes.
I guess
Yes.
is a good
That's
way
well
to say
known.
Yes.
that. Would my character know that these big robots are part of the, I don't know, the new regime of Dr. Destroyer and these other robots as well? Or would they be unfamiliar to her because she's never really dealt with any of this at this level?
Do you have a knowledge skill that would give you that information?
I do have some skills.
Yeah, so I'll say just in general, the mech agents are becoming more frequently visible in public. Like the champions have faced them once before, twice now. Well, once a long time ago and once more recently. And when they faced the agents first, it was in an underground facility, hidden away from everybody. So, like, just public knowledge, they've only had 2 appearances.
So there's probably no chance my character understands what's happening right now. I do have Streetwise at 14 or less, so that might have been how I figured out that maybe I should show up here. And I think my character would be wondering if she wasn't led here for a reason.
These kind of
It's
sanctioned
starting to be
events, though, would be
pretty paranoid.
probably might be somewhat more common recently, though.
Yeah, sanctioned kind of shakedowns. That's happening more.
Uh-oh.
Now, someone's
What did I
bringing
do?
something in.
Someone's coming in.
Rampage, were you trying to bring something in that's requires an upload?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Did it cancel?
Yeah, it's not. I canceled it because it can't work from your side. But
Oh, it can't work?
no, because I have to make all the uploads.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna pass you something in Discord.
Okay. So, Hotshot, yeah, you wouldn't recognize these Talon agents. Obviously, they're devastating and very ferocious looking. They're very loud. But these flamethrower guys that are flaming this gas station, that's just mean. I don't know another way. Like, obviously, that's not the way that the police used to handle hostage situations back then, But I don't necessarily know that you would know why they were doing what they are doing or why is the gas station being targeted. No. And the reason why you would have been in this, I'm playing that this is one of your parents' warehouse. And so, your character was just there looking for something, maybe some records, but just more on the investigation side for, your parents and where what the business was doing or something like that. So nothing other than you doing your own investigations. You ended up in one of their warehouses.
Yeah, okay. So she just ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time in Millennium City.
That's a complete matter of perspective. This would be the right place at the right
wonderful.
Yeah. So the first thing I think she would do would be open up her comm link with her sister back at the armory.
Okay.
And report in. It will go something like location A, rooftop, primary location. Secondary location has been under attack by some sort of robots. Advise. And then it would wait for her sister to come back on the comm. Something like observe until no longer safe. Retreat to the rendezvous point. Authorized to go hot with the heater. Or authorization to go hot with the heater is given. And then the hot shot would say they're authorizing that she'd press some buttons and the weapon would heat up and then she would stay in place observing. So I think that would be my first real move, GM Jason.
Awesome. Okay, so
Technically, that could just be reserving.
say again, Ghost. Sorry.
Technically, that could just be reserving. You can reserve and observe at the same time.
Yeah,
Holding,
yeah.
you mean?
Yeah, delay.
Yeah, and we'll have, because we're about to be in combat phases, so that I'll just say that's what you are doing on your combat phase and holding, and you'll hold your phase until you get a chance to do anything.
In the 12th.
Yeah, we're starting right now, segment 12.
All right.
So, Little Rocket, you are first always, inevitably.
Why else have a speedster, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, you go last.
Well, I can always hold. Yeah, one day. Oh, okay, thanks. Anyway, activating his self-contained breathing, and which worked by 2, and pushing because there's innocence inside. So, wait a minute. I thought his. I want my. That was on. The 40 gets him to the front, and then he's going to go in the burning building looking for people.
Okay.
That puts him about there.
And
I have a question.
Mhm.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I was just saying that you don't see anybody in that main building area yet. It's smoke filled. It's fire all over the place.
Well, it's a good thing being only 3 feet tall.
Yeah. The smoke rises. Okay, Brian, you were asking a question?
Yeah, would I be able to see the little rocket fly in there?
Yep.
So my character will look down and see that and say, "That's hot."
So a little rocket flies in. Sand crab. And before sand crab, you take your action. Max and lots of the folks in the new champions have high range radio perception. So when Hotshot spoke that, it was not on some encrypted line. So I believe Max, being so close, would have heard that.
If I didn't just overhear her say it completely, yeah.
Yeah, because you are right above. But I'm just trying to think. You guys do have some
Yeah,
perception.
I would probably see her talking, literally see the radio going off, and probably, okay, what's she saying?
Yeah. I'm just gonna give that sand crab. It's your turn.
All right. Well, the building
little
is on fire, and I can see through it with my nanites. So, do I see where the innocents are?
Yeah.
Are they like hiding in the bathroom?
Yeah, that's right. They're in the
All
bathroom.
right, I'll radio to Rocket. They're hiding in the bathroom, and then I will. We can approach from any side.
Yep.
All right,
Roger that.
I will approach from this side here, and I will throw my entangle across the whole building to put out the fire.
Oh, like on top of the building.
Yeah.
So, how heavy? You're putting boulders and you're putting concrete and that kind of stuff on top of the building?
Well, where are the tanks? The tanks are right here.
Yeah, but there's fire all over the building, inside it, around it.
Yeah, well, I can't put it out all at once, so I'm gonna put out as much as I can.
Okay,
So
so
if I do like this spot right here, I can like throw dirt and fill that area so that the fire goes out. Does that sound fair?
that sounds fair. You also do crumble that sign, and
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
stuff is just crumbling down around it. But yeah,
It
And
was
block
an
the
insurance
exit that
write-off anyway.
Rocket just ran in.
Well, I figure Rocket will probably break out the back or something.
Okay, so you've collapsed everything and thrown up dirt all around this, and now you've put out the fire that is right there. Where are you in order to accomplish that, by the way?
In the parking lot.
Oh, you're close. Okay. So I'm going to take that flame. Ooh, not the flamethrower. Come on now. So take that flame and just add it over here. So you've got a bunch of rubble, but no flames near where the kind of the pumps are. And Brian's word is true, right? So it had not exploded, and no flames had reached the underground tanks yet.
Sounds good. That's my action.
Okay. So the next is Cypher.
Hey.
Cypher also has a 23. What is it with the 23 club?
1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just a note to Panpiper, Brian, and Kurt. If you click on your name in TTS and then choose team and choose diamonds, you'll be able to see the turn viewer that I've put in the meta chat.
Thank you.
Okay.
I did it for Kurt. I think he's still getting up and running.
No
Oh,
problem.
thank you.
Thank you.
It's that way you can see when your turn's coming up, that sort of thing. All right. So Cypher is over here on the rooftop. So he's going to come over to the edge of the rooftop. And he's going to look around and see if he can see any people's... See what's going on, generally speaking. So that's what, a perception?
Mm-hmm. Passing strike. It's too early, Ghost. It's too early.
I click something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did a couple of passing strikes.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to move the turn viewer. I expanded it, and now it's blocking everything, and I can't move it.
Do you need any assistance there? You figured it out.
No, I'm going to just get myself out of this team diamond.
Yeah, got it. Okay, Cypher, did you roll a perception?
I did, and I failed. So I'm standing at the edge, and I can see the
fire is so beautiful.
It's so pretty.
Beckons you, and the smoke of the flames is like lifting up into the sunset. And you just see it's almost cinematic. It's almost cinematic. But no, you don't see any of the interesting things that are near you.
Okay, I'm going to hold.
Okay.
For Peter, and then I'm going at the end of the turn, when Peter's turn comes up, I'm gonna teleport down to here.
Okay. Dragon Lady, you crawled up from a sewer just in time to be connected back to the game. So you hear the mechs telling everyone to evacuate. So it's very loud, but I don't think that you necessarily would see what the new champions had just done from that distance yet.
Yeah, what I would do is I would definitely want to jump onto a vantage point, so I'll go leaping up 20 meters and using my leap of the dragon, and I end up conveniently landing right next to Cypher.
Fantastic. Let's have a bit of an introduction then. You jump up and you see this kind of black and yellow garbed person, humanoid. But he's also surrounded by just a myriad of different robots and creatures and things. Cypher, tell us a little bit more about your character and what Dragon Lady sees for the first time.
Sure. I can pop an image into the chat in a moment. So you kind of pop up beside me and startle me. So I kind of turn around and go, what are you? Friend or foe? Friend, I hope.
All right. Well, she recognizes that you're speaking English, and she replies back in broken English, and she says, "I am here. I am here to protect the people of Chinatown, and my name is Dragon Lady." And so basically, you see a woman. She's clad in kind of a mix of sort of Chinese, definitely a Chinese-like armor. But you do notice that it happens to have kind of draconic spikes on the shoulders and on the forearms and the boots. And then she's also kind of wearing this helmet that obscures like the upper part of her face, and there's kind of there's sort of like lenses that you can't really see through unless you have like X-ray vision or something. And then there's a long there's kind of this long red ponytail that's coming out of her helmet, and you're not really sure if it's part of the helmet or if that's her actual hair. And you kind of see like the skin is obviously East Asian, and she does happen to have kind of emerald lips, which are about the same color as that of her armor. And she definitely speaks kind of broken English. It's roughly fluent conversation with a Chinese accent.
Do you mind moving your finger out of the way too? Because I'm going to get a snapshot of the first intro of the two players.
Okay, sure.
Same thing for Cypher.
Dragon Lady. Interesting. I smile, but you can't tell from my because it's inside a helm. One of our teammates has gone in to rescue people from the burning gas station, but we will need to deal with the attackers on the outside.
I recognize these. These are agents of Dr. Destroyer. He is an enemy of the Chinese people, and also my enemy, as a result.
He's an enemy of just about everybody, yes.
Good, then we are allies.
Okay. Over comms, I'll say, I've got a new person who seems to be wanting to join us in fighting these things. Calls herself Dragon Lady.
More the merrier, I guess.
Allies are never a bad thing.
So back at Dragon Lady, I'll ask, so what would your skill set be?
I know 4 different types of martial art.
Excellent. I don't suggest you attack the big armored creatures. They are very difficult to take down. But the smaller ones you may have a better chance with.
Thank you. You must have fought them before.
Yes.
Are you all able to hear me?
I
Yep.
see.
We are
Now,
Nope, can't hear you.
Yeah, appreciate that. Dragon Lady's at the entirety of your turn, or do you have some more movement or action remaining?
No, she can. That's pretty much just a full combat move for her to leap up on there and then talk to Cypher.
Okay, cool. We're going to continue on with action. Fleetwoods get to move.
Okay, so Christine,
They have names, by the way.
my sassy one, where'd she go?
My sassy one.
I used to be able to see the names on the figures, but I can't tell them anymore.
Oh,
Maybe it's because I'm not promoted. Don't worry about it. So,
I see him.
Dragon Lady, one of these robotic things circles around you, and a bunch of flashing lights happen on the device. And Cypher says, "No, no, no, Christine, that's okay. She seems to be friendly."
You've got John, actually.
yeah, we
That's
see.
right,
Dragon
John.
definitely tenses up as she's being observed, and she continues to remain tense as you, even as you soothe your robot.
Okay. And I will send the others to search out the area. I'm not sure which one I've got right now. Here.
That's Lindsay.
Okay. So Lindsay takes interest in this van down here with the satellite dish on top of it.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah,
Christine was circling, and I'm going to have John head over here to take a look at the mechs, the Black
yes.
Talons.
So, Lindsay will report back to you that there are 2 individuals in the front seats of that van.
How are they dressed?
They are wearing cloaks.
Ah. So I will relay to the team. We may have a chance to. I'm seeing some cloaked individuals, so we'll see what happens next. Lindsay's got an eye on them.
Yeah. Do you need perception rolls for these other for them? Because you said you put some of them toward the Talon agents.
Yeah, I put John out towards the Talon agents.
Okay, so I'll give John a perception roll to notice something, and if it's awesome, then maybe John will notice something.
Excellent.
We lost Rampage from tabletop.
He's in and out.
Yeah. I think it's tabletop. I don't think it's me in Wyoming.
Yeah, sure.
I don't accept it. Yeah, that's good enough. So John would see, the Fleetwood John would see the Black Talons hone in on, like you see where you can see targeting sites, or like maybe even like their guns rotate on and maybe even kind of swing over down toward the police car, that direction at least.
Okay.
You can't really tell if it's a police car or ghost or who knows, but it's in that direction.
But it's not John.
No. They don't see John, but
Okay.
John sees that. John's minuscule, right? He's really tiny.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
but he obviously
about
sees that the Talons have kind of spun up and are targeting in down street.
Okay, John, the Fleetwoods are all about the size of the golden snitch from Harry Potter. So they're very tiny.
Okay. Any other actions?
No, the Fleetwoods have all moved.
Okay, cool. The Black Talons are going to open fire down street at Ghost. They recognize and have a video imagery of our previous interaction with Ghost.
They recognize the threat. Yes.
They're being intelligent.
And they are not happy with Ghost's arrival. So, Black Talon agent, just name this one proper.
Aren't they happy that they attended today's briefing?
Be on the lookout for. Okay, so from 1 to Ghost. Let me get a little closer up. Got to do the measurements right when I have the proper range modifiers. I'm seeing 41.
Yep.
Is that what you see too?
Yeah. Going by memory, it's around there.
Okay.
41.
Okay, 41. Let's put that into the distance modifier.
-5.
It is a -5. And then they have some skill levels. If I can get to them. Yeah, +2. And they are going to do an explosion cannon down there.
Sorry, Mr. Policeman.
No, he got out and he's in other buildings.
Okay, good.
You told him to get out. Let me make sure I've got this right. Okay. Oh, so they are not bought explosion. They're just called explosive cannons, but they are not.
Oh.
Okay, that's great.
Means the cannons themselves explode.
No, it doesn't happen that way, I promise.
Oh, darn it!
Okay. No, there is one, though, that I'm going to do this way. So 16. How big is your range thing over there? What is it set for right now, Rampage?
He's off.
Okay. I think it's a 16. So this is what I'm going to play at.
I can check it real quick. Yeah. 8-meter radius.
Okay, how do I get that thing moved? I don't want it to be locked right there. Okay, it didn't work the way I wanted to.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
How can I get it to be bigger? He's got a couple of states. I think that did 16. Yeah, we're gonna just go with that for now. So
You trying to bring down the city?
well, they don't really care about this part of town. It is,
Or any town.
yeah, really, but they don't particularly. So they are they are going to launch some cannon down in there. And it is area effect auto fire 5 shots. So let's see.
Area effect auto fire explosions.
No, not explosion.
No.
It didn't buy that at least.
Okay, okay.
So let us do that. It is an area. It is called a grenade launcher, but it's not bought it with the explosion. I hate doing explosions in game anyway, so I'm glad for that. All right. So auto fire times 5. I rolled a.
That's just a total miss. Nothing hits.
Yeah. Right. No, but it does hit once because it's a DCV 30. Did I add my combat skill levels? I didn't. So it would be a 6.
It's still a miss.
No, it's not, because it's an area effect. It's
So
It is
two
an
of them-
area effect.
oh, it's area of effect. It's just not bought explosion. It's not
So
bought
two
with
of them land.
it's not bought with the advantage explosion. That's all.
2 will hit.
2 land exactly where they want it. The other 3 miss
Yeah.
the target spot.
Yeah. So let us see just how far off they miss though. How do you do that with a auto fire? Because it's going to lob
You don't-
5.
They just miss.
Okay.
I actually read through that the other day, and somebody could please double check me, but those other shots just miss.
Okay, that's easier for the game's sake anyway. So 2 of these come out, 5 of them go off into the distance, and for the comic book pages, it's out of it's down the street and it's not hurting anybody, not having any effect. But 2 of them actually do hit exactly where he aims them.
Size of this circle?
Yep.
That's going to mess up some buildings.
Yeah.
I
Well,
tried to roll
we'll
it.
see. I guess we'll see how much body damage they do.
So body 12, stun
yeah.
24. That's the first one. Do I roll it twice, or does that same? I think it because it is 2 attacks.
You
I
roll it
usually
twice.
roll it twice.
Yeah, I'm going to. Body 12, stun 24, body 10, stun 20. And that's everything in that radius. So that means the car explodes. Sorry, police car.
Oh yeah, and like those building walls are toast.
Yeah, everything is just blown out there. It's a lot of body damage that would break through these walls. That building that you're next to, Ghost, is unstable and crumbling. And you really wouldn't know what was happening inside that warehouse. I don't know if that stun or body does anything to it. I don't think it does. That's the first Black Talon agent who's acted. The second Black Talon agent is going to lob something else down your way. Let us see, +2. I'm going to add that in this time instead of not. It is a radius attack. Good lord. It's not an auto fire. I'm just rolling terribly or what? Oh, it's because of the range too.
Yeah.
You all
Yeah.
did roll terribly.
Well,
though.
plus he does have a. Did you factor in a skill level or skill levels or not?
I did, but it's
Yeah.
-5 for the range, +2 for the skill level, but it is a
You rolled
huge
a
range.
16 to hit.
So let us say, how much off is that going to be? Because it is still trying to hit. I'm going to say that it goes over here, and somebody can correct me. I think it goes off a particular dice. And I can just
It
roll
goes off by, well, you missed by 2, so it'll be off by
2
meters per. Yeah, 2 hexes per minus that you missed, so 4 meters
And
off.
I'm going to roll a die 6 because I know you do it by the direction, and I'm basically going to say 1 is going to be away from Ghost. 6 is toward Ghost.
That's
So-
not how D6 works. You go around the hex, you just away from Ghost to be 1, and then just count around.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to get at.
Okay, 4 would be towards Ghost then, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because 6 would be right next to a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 would be toward Ghost.
You can tell he's really wanting to roll a 4.
I did roll a 4. That's awesome. So that is not that I harbor any ill will towards you, Ghost. This canister launches from the mech and lands down in this street, maybe right behind the exploded police car, and out from it is it looks like a gas, but it is not gas. Like, you see the cloud of it, but it's not changing the air. But it is having. It's almost like it is where you can see the effect of force moving through the air, but it's almost like the smoke is moving through the air. So you see force, and it is basically an anesthetic gas projector. So it is an attack versus alternate defenses, power defense.
Oh,
So it's basically ricocheting through the air. And if you have that, do you have power defense? It's all or nothing.
I do.
Okay, so it ricochets through Ghost. Maybe it phases through the solar system looking of her. But this damage is going to which one is the Fleetwood? Lindsay will see that the folks in the cloaks in the van are unconscious.
Ooh.
More people to rescue.
That's going to make it a lot easier to hide in their van.
Hotshot, it's your turn.
If they're monitoring my I should be able to hear them too, right?
So when they speak, they have a well, I won't say it. No, you can't hear them.
Ooh, excuse me.
Do I know there's a blue guy on the top of that roof behind me yet?
Do you have any 360 perceptions, or maybe even just a sound? Maybe because he landed, he didn't land with any particular stealth.
No, I probably teleported in, so
Teleporting in probably sounds pretty quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think you've had any real reason to notice him behind you.
I noticed shooting.
Oh yeah, that's loud, lots of flames. You would even have heard this canister explosion. You would probably even see the explosion of the kind of anesthetic gas that just happened to the left. That probably would catch your attention. These mechs have just opened fire down street and exploded half the building, probably even impacting the warehouse that you're standing on. You probably feel the shake of the warehouse from the explosion.
Hotshot will open up her comm again. Oh, were you done?
Well, I was going to say this one red building over here is unstable.
Yeah. The whole area is unstable now. Hotshot will open up her comm again back to the armory. All hell's breaking loose. Shooting started. And then it will be returned. Evac. Primary location compromised. So the hotshot's going to be looking to get out of here as fast as I can, back down the stairs the way I came.
Okay.
My character in the fiction has no dog in this fight. She was just here on her own thing. So she's going to try to beat feet out of there if she can.
Yeah, how heroic is she feeling, though? I mean, you're seeing lots of destruction in the neighborhood. You don't have a dog in the fight, but you're also seeing lots of kind of injustices happening.
There are a lot of innocents being put in extreme danger by these robots.
Is Hotshot a hero?
Yeah, you got to do that to me, huh?
Uh-huh. I mean, that's the whole reason you joined the campaign, isn't it?
So what does Hotshot do? Are you there, Brian?
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Sure, if you want to hold, we can come back, or do you want to?
I think she would be looking to still. She was her little group that she's with said it's time to evac out of here. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if somebody starts shooting at her, she's gonna have to return fire. So yeah, I'm gonna say that during my first action phase, she's kind of frozen in place, just witnessing this whole carnage. She's never seen anything like this before.
Yeah. So are you gonna make the effort to run back to the door that's on the opposite side of where you are, or are you gonna really truly be frozen there, looking at the carnage that's below?
I think the second of her life will pass with her just staring down at these Black Talons and witnessing the power of them and thinking, why am I here?
She's questioning her decisions in life right now.
at least where she's at this present time. Hell yeah. Look at them go. They blew up a building.
Okay. I'll consider that a held full action.
Or you could consider it as a presence attack.
I think this is a good role play for Hotshot, and you'll get your action when you compose yourself, right? So I will left click.
Ew.
I'm gonna hold your full face, and then if you decide to act, you can just interrupt. Let me know.
Ghost at this point will pop out a message for Jerry. Are you okay in there, Jerry? Do you need an exit hole?
It might be. I'm not sure yet.
Okay, and you're still in the split second of running in there, so
Yeah.
you haven't. You haven't seen anybody yet. It's Stevie's turn.
Excellent. Stevie is going to
Come after the mechs. Just come after them. That's all I have
You
to say.
betcha.
I'm baiting
He
you.
sacrificed himself.
Yeah, that's fine. So he's gonna go. So I can go 30 meters, but I can go 15 in attack. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Do it
Okay.
on the car.
So now, from F3. So from there to the first. Oh, come on, you silly things.
If Stevie takes down these mechs, I'm just sad. I don't have a good word for the way I would feel about that.
Come on.
Stevie,
You
the
never
mech
know.
disruptor.
I know.
There might have been experience points spent on Stevie.
Oh gosh.
I'll
I
pitch in
can't.
some.
I can't interact with my character sheet right now.
It's on purpose that way. Sorry for.
I can't interact with my character sheet.
Your character sheet isn't very heroic.
Let me see. Did you somehow? Are you on the Mac?
Nope.
What would you like Stevie to do? Because I think you're gonna have to exit out and get back in.
Okay. He is going to make an attack roll with range is 20, so I think that's like -4.
3.
Okay.
And what is he attacking?
He's attacking Black Talon 2.
It's just rude.
He's got a bring him down, Dano. That's penetrating attack, 9d6 penetrating.
He's got some skill levels.
He does.
Is it 4? Is it the 4 for the laser sight or the flight training? Which one?
The flight training would allow him to turn. Well, actually, he's got no.
So it's the
whatever.
4 for the laser sight then.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if I can get that. We're going to hit 2 hit. 6 or less. And you're going after Black Talon too? I don't think you're going to get him. It misses.
Okay.
What does it look
So
like? What does it look like when he does this blast?
Well, it looks like that.
Oh well, with bad shaders. Yeah. So it's like a electricity looking laser beam coming across.
Right.
Okay. And he misses at the Black Talon though. Maximum resistance. It's your turn. And Hotshot, you would see that. Maybe the Stevie is small, but the blast that he's making is pretty enormous, and it misses, kind of careening between the two Talon agents. Maximum resistance, it's your turn.
Hotshot, you will hear in your earpiece. If you know how to use that gun, you may choose to. Otherwise, you may want to vacate. And I'm going to wind up a haymaker.
Okay, what are you going for?
Black Talon 2.
Okay, cool. So that's the end of the next segment, right?
End of segment 1, yes.
Got it. Cool. Okay, so the flamethrowers are next, and they are just continuing to blaze flames. Some of them have been caught up in the entangle, but a couple of them over here on the side are still gonna, and one of them is gonna come over here and turn, and this one's gonna come over here a little bit too and turn, and I'm just gonna, just because I just want to see it for just a second. Oh yeah. Did I just lose somebody, really?
Yeah, I got dropped.
I'm gonna turn it off. I don't think it's what caused it. Okay, so they're flaming this this big tank out in the back. They've moved over to that. The whole building's on fire. Everything's happening pretty big.
Yeah, there's a lot going on the street.
Uh-oh. I think everything locked up again. Why did I turn that animation on? I think I'm gonna
How
lose it.
dare you?
Yeah, I'm not seeing your
sure,
ping time.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I'm not seeing your ping time move and then disconnect.
Good Lord. I won't ever turn animations on. Sorry, y'all. So everybody join in as quickly as you can because the table is still good and open. So those flamethrowers are we're gonna just light up that portion of the tank, and then it is Ghost who goes. And Ghost, if you want to tell me what you're doing, I can maybe help you with it until you get back in.
Ghost is going to be doing a maximum velocity charge, maximum combat velocity charge on the bigger and scarier looking of the robots,
Yeah,
which is
that's
not the one that everybody else has been attacking.
so that is true. You would notice that these do look a little bit more ferocious looking, maybe more reinforced from the ones you all saw. Maybe
Yeah.
in the time that you all saw them, interacted with them last, they have had some much needed upgrades.
Yeah, and Ghost is of the opinion that anything that looks that big and that scary can take her best shot.
Let's see. Let's see.
Less scary ones could take our best shot. So, you know.
Okay, so this is a charge attack. We've hit the button. It's DCV 7. That was a particularly bad roll. Might still be a hit.
It hits.
Okay. And we're theoretically rolling. 65 stun, 18 body.
Okay.
Oh, and of course I need to move Ghost.
Mm-hmm. Well, you roll the knockback for that too.
Okay, put Ghost approximately where she'd wind up. Around there. Knockback. I need roll maker. 3 dice. This is a martial attack. Roll the 9, so it's 9 inches of knockback, so 18 meters, minus whatever knockback resistance it's got.
Yeah, so it doesn't move.
Okay.
It's solid. So you can see maybe you kind of tilt it backward and it just tilts back forward to you. So it doesn't
Sure.
tip over.
It's all good.
Trying to think, did I calculate it right? Okay. My typing is slow.
And should now be about 10 meters above the ground.
Okay. All right. There's a whole lot of different things on this. Okay. So Ghost, you all see her charge through down the street into this Black Talon 2 and hit it dead
Actually,
on.
I think it's Black Talon 1, isn't it?
Oh, okay, Black Talon 1. Sorry, same stats. So.
Okay, because he looks bigger and scarier.
Oh, sorry, I didn't do that on purpose.
Okay. They're not the same model.
No, they aren't. The one that you hit has rocket launchers above it, so.
Yeah, and he looks both bigger and more heavily armed, so kind of why I chose him.
Okay, well then, if I can just type.
I mean, the fact that there's a haymaker winding up for Black Talon 2 would be a factor, except she had already identified Agent 1 as being scarier looking, so.
Okay, so Agent 1, you see Ghost just pummel straight into it, and just as she hits it, and you all have seen Ghost waylay some things to the ground and knock around and about, and Ghost hits this thing and just solid connects and stops. It's big, the thud heard around the world, right? Because this is loud clanging into metal, and the thing tips backward and then tips back forward, remaining upright.
Oh my
Maybe
goodness.
I should like put her here instead, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is not a passing strike, which would allow her to keep on going.
Because she charged, right? Yeah. Okay. Did not knock it over. Peter Green, make some music.
Hey. So Peter Green does a guitar riff and moves closer to Cypher. Cypher grabs hold of him, and then the two of them teleport down to the car.
Okay, well, you place them there, and is that the entirety of his action?
Well, he sets up his dampening field, so that gives
turns on a
usable
power
nearby energy, 50% damage reduction for energy, physical, and +8 DCV. Usable nearby. I don't know how many people that would affect.
Beautiful. Make the radius. I think you have the actual thing over there if you want to just put it up in target. Okay, and I'm going to come back to you. Before we end segment 12, Hotshot's got a full held action. You want to take it?
I think I'm sticking with the. She's just in shock and awe of what just happened, and she does note that like Ghost flew in and whacked that thing. So yeah.
Did you hear when my character talked to yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would definitely note that I just wasn't really ready to act that part out, but yeah, obviously, her sister back at the armory would note that our comlink's compromised. As the hotshot just kind of stared down at this whole scene in what is her first introduction into the new Champions game. Talk about throwing right right into the out of the frying pan and into the fire.
That's the way we like to bring it. Yeah.
Well, hey, I remember watching the first one at like the airport where there's like 2 Viper agents.
Yep.
I get 2 Black Talons.
Yeah. we've upped our game. That's nice. So I had high expectations. Sorry, Brian. Oh, that's great. Okay, we will go in.
This is great.
We will go into the next segment. We are on. Everybody takes post segment 12 recoveries if they need them.
Fortunately, I don't, because you shot Ghost, not me.
Now, oh yeah, that should have been our introduction. Black Talon 1. You can't recover from being stunned at recovery 12, can you?
Don't believe so.
I think you just recover stun, and you have to
But
take.
you can recover the stun even while stunned.
Yes.
Oh no, I thought it was reversed. That
Yeah.
I thought if you are stunned and you hit a post segment, you don't get the recovery, but you do recover from stun.
Oh, really?
Isn't it reverse?
I don't think so. Confirm that. It's easy to check. It's in the rules.
I was just going to give him the stun recovery, but he is still stunned. And that's the way I'll play it for now. And then if someone corrects it, just give me the correction.
In my game, you lose a phase. So if he had a phase this time, he's losing his phase the next time, right?
Yeah, he's going to have to lose his phase to get back from stun. That's right. But I am giving him back the stun.
Phase than not get back some stun.
Yeah, that's better for y'all. Okay. Sand Crab acts at the beginning of... no, it says Sand Crab, but it should be Little Rocket. That's
he had a held action, I think.
Yeah. Sandcrab had a held action, I think. Well, no, he shouldn't have.
No.
I shouldn't have a held action because I did my action, which was the entangle the fire.
I think it's just the order thing is wrong. Rocket should go first.
Well, you're in turn 1 of segment 12. Yeah.
Ah, there's the problem. User error.
No. I gave you the thing because it did the turns out of order. But now we will get past it.
Okay, post segment 12 recovery. After segment 12, each turn, all characters, even stunned ones, get a free post segment 12 recovery.
All right.
This recovery occurs automatically.
Yeah,
unless they're like in a deep unconscious.
Yeah. Okay, so he got his stun back, but he has lost a turn.
Yeah, he's going to have to recover from being stunned on his next turn.
Right.
He did get stunned back though. Yeah, that was the way I was going to play it, so that's good. We're awesome. Okay, we are at segment 2. Now, Little Rocket starts us off.
Phase 1, my haymaker.
How could I forget you?
Segment 1.
Maybe I wanted to forget you.
Maybe.
Okay, let's see if you get it.
And I've got to put the range. Oops, I'm gonna.
Yeah, range modifier. Range. How much do you lose from a haymaker?
None. I'm double checking the range again.
You lose DCV, excuse me.
Yes. But I've also got a little bit of cover because of the walls, hopefully.
Yeah, that's true. They'll just destroy the walls.
Okay, so there we go.
Okay, you hit.
Okay.
Black Talon 2.
Yep. $19 body, 64 stun.
Good gosh.
Sweet.
Oh, fortunately, I rolled really crappy on the knockback, so he's probably not going anywhere like his buddy. Because that's 16 meters of knockback.
64 stun, right?
And I'm just glad I hit.
Okay.
Rub it in.
So yeah, Hotshot will see this large lightning bolt come from behind her into that second Black Talon.
Now, and that bolt just wraps around him, but it doesn't move it backward. It does, however. Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything.
Sure, it did. It gave away our position.
Yeah, but
It doesn't
you
do anything.
Yeah, you don't see any pieces of it break off, and it doesn't tilt backward at all.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, segment 2, top of the order, Little Rocket.
All right. He's going to go in and try to grab everybody that's there and start to head out.
Okay, so will you you have self-contained breathing on, right?
Correct.
Okay, and you're not gonna. So you're going through flames. How are you going to prevent these innocents from being burned by the flames? Are you going to?
Get out of them really, really quickly.
That's not the way it works. I don't think so. Did you buy something that you are going to be safe with them? You're going to take them back through, so you can grab them. You can get to them and grab them in this phase, but you won't be able to escape this phase.
No, we'll go out through the window.
Okay, so they are
in the back
in
of the
that
building.
bathroom. You've found them. Is there a window? Yeah, there is a window. So that's a safe way. So you've grabbed them. There's a kind of a teenage kid and then an old man back there, and they are as scared as all can be. It's old man Smithers and his teenage grandson, Jimmy.
Anybody else here?
No, there's not anybody else here. And he's coughing and sputtering, and it's just the two of us.
We'll go out through the window.
Okay. Cool. So you'll get a chance to save them on your next turn.
Yep.
Okay.
And if need be, I'll blast the wall.
It's a pretty small window. You might be able to make it out, but I don't know about him. Sorry. That had to happen.
Shove! Shove out the window. Somebody on the other side, catch. Oh, nobody's there. Never mind.
Okay. Sandcrab, it's your turn. It says Cypher, but Sandcrab, this is the one where it gets the order out of turn. It's going to put
No
Sandcrab
problem.
at the end of the phase for some reason.
No problem. Sandcrab will move towards this car, kind of get like a little bit of cover in case the big dumb robots decide to turn on me, and throw another entangle over here, and get those two agents and the tanks and that side of the building to cover it in dirt so it goes out of fire.
Okay, you got him, and the last half of Little Rocket as well. But I'm kidding. Okay, so
That's all right.
That's just an image.
No. The fire is extinguished, and these flame agent guys are covered in rubble.
Good. You want me to roll or just take the default 5 body 6 defense?
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to roll. I'll take the default.
Works for me.
Cypher. What are you
Okay.
gonna do?
I don't know if I've tried this before, but the Black Talons, they must be computerized. So I want to see whether there's a computer controlling them that I can take control of.
How do
Good
you
choice.
propose to do it?
Same way algorithm did.
That's what
With fiat.
algorithm did?
The power of fiat.
So I'm gonna reach out with my my powers to detect. There's no intelligent life here. To detect machine class of minds.
Okay.
So that is a mind scan. I'm gonna have to use Rule Maker on that. Okay, now, how does it target though?
Based on the number of targets in the area, that sets your decency. No, it sets the modifiers. I'll never use mind scan.
Yeah, it's modifiers against the OMCV.
So if that's the power, I'm not going to make you roll it, but I'll say if that's the power you're doing, you will sense the technology, but they are not sentient in a way that you can control them.
Why not?
Because that's not the power you bought. If you're going to do mind control for technology, then they have to be sentient technology.
No, it's machine class of minds.
But they're also not sentient.
Are they operated by a person inside them?
Yeah, they're operated by the person. They're not on their own.
Gotcha.
They're not like
Gotcha.
automatons.
So they're just mech suits.
Yeah, like if it was a automaton, you could control that machine class of mind. This is not a machine mind, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to slam your power build. It's just
obvious, inaccessible focus.
Yeah.
Well, now that's just not right.
And see, for me, you can't end around OIF rules with that mind control power.
You could buy an extra slot for your multi-power of a dispel, partial effect or something.
Yes.
Versus power suits or something.
Yes, because then it would be going against the focus, right?
Yeah.
Transform, I would think. Yeah, transform with partial transform, probably.
Yeah,
It's always transform, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why.
Which one
why
of your?
I redid his.
Which one of your? We lost Rampage. Which one of the Fleetwoods is near them? The mechs.
John.
John hears crackling electricity.
Oh.
So it's firing up to attack again.
That's not the sound that...
More Destroids are coming.
Ah. Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Destroids inbound.
Do you all see that crackling energy down there?
That's next to Cypher? That's next to Cypher?
Oh, right there, crackling in.
Yeah, not the one next to Cypher, the one that's actually in the street. There's a couple of crackling, sparkling electricities.
I'm seeing one here.
Can you ping them?
Yeah, there's another one here.
Oh, the really faint ones. Okay, yeah.
There's a third one.
Whoops.
That is the special effect of and Hotshot and Dragon Lady wouldn't know this, but that is the sound that precedes the portaling in of Destroids.
Okay.
Cypher. So you did that attack attempting or that scan, and have identified that these are not machine class mines.
Okay. So that would be my turn.
Okay.
Right? Because is mind scan considered to be like an attack?
I think it's an action. I don't know if it's an attack.
You do generally have to roll an OMCV against it, so I don't know if that's...
Yeah. So that is an attack. I'll play it then. Okay, Dragon Lady. Dragon Lady, are you with us still?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. All right, so Dragon Lady is going to, she'll activate her running up and down walls, and so then she is going to do a half move. No, I don't want metric. I want, we'll go inches because I can do that easier. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. So that is 14. The other thing I'd ask are these 1 meter hexes or 2 meter hexes?
1.
Well, okay. Well, that's easier. All
If
right.
you click on grid, it snaps to the whatever the grid
Oh yeah,
distance is.
where you have a line tool,
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
just change it to grid, and you should be able to measure by pressing tab and hold, or tab and click, and that will allow you to measure distances.
Okay.
And that's the actual units of our movement.
All right. So I'm going to half move, and then I'm going to activate my Fires of the Dragon power and basically boost my OCV. Giving myself, just use standard effect and give myself 2 extra points of OCV. So my base OCV becomes 10 until the next post segment 12.
Okay, awesome. So
Yeah. So how would I change that on my sheet?
you don't. You could do.
Under your to hit. Yeah,
But that's DCV. It's not. Yeah.
Oh, it's OCV. That's what I boosted.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
So under his to hit, he can add a +2 under the.
Yeah.
On the
Okay.
die roll.
That's the easiest way. The change characteristic used to work, where you could actually physically change your OCV, and then it would calculate from there. But that's still part of the beta.
Ah, I see. Cool. Thanks.
No troubles.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Do you look any different after you do that, or is there some special effect that
I
would
basically
folks know?
incantations, gestures, and kind of glow with emerald energy. And yep, that's it.
Destroyed down. Okay, cool.
But it teleporting's getting faster.
Yes, or maybe they were just very nearby. Did I just lose it?
Did we lose a Destroid?
I think somebody took it.
Good man
Don't
or
do
woman.
that.
Wait, we don't have
do
any women
that.
in here.
Don't do that. Okay. I'm going to see if I can somehow bring in a Destroid. I can. We're over time because of our late start. Is everybody okay giving me a little bit more time to this?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm cool, but I'm
I'm
struggling.
good.
Keep on getting disconnected. It's very annoying.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is for me as well. I'm really sorry, guys. And I think there is some connectivity problems, not just my animation decisions. Okay. So
Okay.
Dragon Lady has acted, and we are. It's Max's turn.
Yay, Destroid.
With a haggard and exhausted breath.
4. And they just moved there?
They just appeared. They portaled.
Oh, they just appeared there. Okay.
Yeah, there was crackling electricity, and now they have portaled in.
Okay. I'm going to hit that entire area then with my entangle.
Of course.
Well, my energy blast didn't appear to have any effect, so
It's stunned.
I might as well.
I mean,
well, it said it had no effect. I couldn't tell it stunned him.
But you wouldn't be able to tell it. I don't think you would be able to.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I was like, oh crap. That's fine. So I'm going to I'll entangle that entire area, and it's heads up when you're not. I guess it's only an 8-meter radius, so it's not It's as big as one of those circles.
You want
So
to copy one?
yeah,
Are you able to? Or do you need help?
give me 1 second.
Be
I do
aware
not
that
have the.
Ghost is in front of Black Talon Agent 1.
You will break out of it in a freaking heartbeat.
Okay.
They probably will too.
And well, yes, that's. I want to at least get these front 3. I don't think I can get everybody. So yeah, I'm just going to hit these front 3.
Is this the kind of entangle where if I hit Black Talon 2, I destroy the entangle?
Well, you hit him and the entangle. They both take damage. So it doesn't really act as a defense. So it's big enough. I'm going to hit Black Talon 2 and the 2 front Destroids. And possibly even Flame Agent 4. Did we lose?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
So, will you target where you intend to target?
There.
Okay. And then let me take one of these. So you're going to do it right here, right?
I can't copy it. So.
Is that okay where you want it?
Yep. Perfect.
I'm just going to change the tint of it.
It's my distance.
Yeah, you can. You just right click on it and change the tint.
I think I'm going to
And if
make
you
it
go to
be-
state 3, it'll double the size. So that's 8. The next one's 16. Next one's 32. There's 4 states.
Awesome. Thank you. This is a great tool. But let's see if you actually hit that area first.
That's a good idea.
I don't mind yielding on the rolls. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, you got it.
And it's going to have 3 body. It's got 5 PD and 4 ED.
Okay, I'll write that down. 3, 5, 4. Okay, and what does it look like? Is it just like an energy? What's actually entangling them?
It's like, yeah, they basically all get hit with the equivalent of like a stun gun.
Okay.
So the electricity shocks shoots all over them. They kind of stand there and shudder for a second.
Okay. And Sandcrab, I've already given you your turn, though it is coming back to you and telling you it's your turn now. It's weird. Segment 3, Little Rocket. You've got a lot of folks entangled and stunned and the like.
Yeah, well, I've got to get these people out of this building first.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm going
sorry. Priorities.
Yeah. Blow out the window with his lightning blast.
Okay, I'm not going to make you roll for that, so you're able to. You blow it out.
And
that's
of course then
probably even doesn't even take a phase for you to do that. It's
okay.
It's like a
Okay, and then
natural strength.
Casual strength against that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Then out we go.
Okay, so you've grabbed them and are moving the kiddos out and the old man out. You are going to get them to safety. So you'll rejoin. You have enough movement, but you're going to have to get back into to battle in your next one. Okay, so you have heroically saved Old Man Smithers and his grandson.
Yep.
Fleetwood gets to take an action.
Civilians clear.
Now the heat gets turned up.
Yep.
John will move down this way. What is the blue circle?
These are all entangled from swirling energy from maximum resistance.
So
Well,
John will
now that it's gone off, it's done. It's not like doesn't stick around. Just those guys were hit, and now
Okay.
it'll continue to affect them. But if you run into it, it won't hurt you.
Okay. So John's coming down here to keep an eye on the two destroids at the back. So he's gonna fly right all the way back down to here.
Okay.
Lindsay is gonna go into the van, and he's going to insert himself into a pocket on one of these cloaked individuals.
It's unconscious. He can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
And Christine is traveling around with me. Still not sure about that, that dragon lady person, so keeps kind of circling around the dragon lady. And that's my Fleetwoods.
Okay, cool. Black Talon Agent 2 is going to recover from being stunned because that's what he can do. Y'all don't see it, but in his mind, his judgment is clouded, sparkling energy all around him. Black Talon Agent number 1 also recovers from being stunned. And thankfully wasn't hit while he was affected by it. That is his
Well, he's
fault.
still recovering, so he's still at half DCV. So
Well, but now that his phase has happened, he's recovered.
right now he is recovering.
So he's taking that phase. Oh gosh.
Yes. So if he actually gets hit between now and when he recovers, he takes damage. He actually has to take damage. He loses the recovery. And he's at half DCV while he's recovering from being stunned, which is why being stun locked absolutely sucks.
Yeah, because that just seems so mean. Okay. Destroyed number 1 is going to turn and attack the sand crab. And actually, sand crab, you might be a little small for your... Or maybe they're a little big. I know they are big, but they're not that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I'm a
big.
little small here. I'll adjust.
Oh god, I forgot. You
Okay.
I think that's about right. No. Is this are the flame agents the right size?
Carmilla,
Yeah, they are. They are.
take
Okay.
it as part of your-
So
I think that's about right compared to the car. Usually a man's armpit is about the height of the top of a car.
okay.
No, you earned it.
All right. The destroid is going to come into the... Yeah, he is going to energy jet over and onto the car. And then aim his blaster straight down onto the sand crab from above.
A reminder for reference. The
He may ultimately regret his proximity decisions. As he's doing it, you would see a energy, kind of a aura of energy surrounding him. Well, no, I don't know. You're looking in a different direction, so you wouldn't see that.
Oh no, I would see it. I have
Oh, yeah.
360 vision,
Yeah, so you
and
do.
I see the whole battlefield.
Fantastic.
I mean, if you want me to make a roll for something, I'll do it too.
No, that was good enough.
All right.
Okay, so he is going to hit downward. Basically, takes his arms, which are laser cannons, and just aims them down into sand crab's area. Hits that hex, and is blasting just electricity down onto the sand crab.
Yeah, well, I wish I had my powers set up in a different slots right now, but that's not how I had them. Go ahead.
Dive for cover.
17, buddy, and 17. Oh my gosh, really? A 1 multiplier on the stun?
Is that
Hey,
is that physical or energy?
It's energy.
Okay.
Seriously, though, come on, y'all. That's a terrible roll.
love
We
it.
appreciate it.
17 body,
We-
17 stun.
We
You
appreciate
know what the
your
sound of a
sacrifice.
basketball makes? Bounced.
Just straight above, cannons right on him, lasers down on him, and it's
You hit him.
yeah. Gosh.
Sandcrab says, "Oh, you have my attention now."
Oh gosh.
Can
Okay.
you catch the other side?
That was a
Scratch over here,
scratch over
please.
here. Okay, so Destroyed 3 and 4 are going to try to break out of this entangle. It's a strength only to break out, is that right?
No, but you can't use things like focuses because it's an entangle. But yeah, it's nothing fancy like that.
Yeah, and their weapons are built onto them, so they're not going to have to.
You can't teleport out of it, but
No, but they'll be able to blast out of it. So.
oh yeah,
Okay, do I want 13.6? Yes, I think so. So they're going to blast out. Oh, Tabletop Simulator is crashing.
Not again.
Yeah, that is enough
There it
frustration.
goes.
That is enough frustration for one night for me. I am.
and it's almost midnight for me, so yeah.
So I will hopefully have the autosave pick up back there in the next session and maybe have some more RAM by the next time that we meet again. Intense battle. Glad to see Hotshot and Dragon Lady in the action. Will Hotshot engage? That's the real question. Anybody have any things they want to monologue on or kind of narrative around as we are dejectedly unable to
Well,
play?
from the point of
I'll
view of
say
the group,
it's fun to see a really big battle. You know, even though it's going to last over probably 2, maybe 3 sessions, it's fun to see it because we haven't had one in a really long time.
Yeah,
So,
it's all been narrative stuff. So yeah,
and with the big group, we haven't had like what do we have 8 players this time,
yeah.
Yeah.
so that's fun.
It's-
Hopefully, we can clean up the table so that it's a little supports players better and doesn't drop, and it'll be fun next game.
And the next time,
7.5.
next game, I'm going to have 2 versions of the table. One that is animated, but I'm going to have loads of RAM on the computer next time, so hopefully all good. And then one that's just no animations, just tokens, so we can just do the dang thing,
it's like a
Pop-
plan.
Show us the original one and then go to the real one.
Yeah, just show you a photograph of it so you can know all the hours of toil that went into it. I'm kidding. Any other folks that would have wanted to address anything in the combat, say anything before we end for the night?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and happy
And-
New Year, everybody.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year and welcome to the fun.
Yeah, I promise you
Or
guys,
mayhem or
it'll get better. This is not a normal. This was a big letdown for me because it's just not the way these sessions go. Not at all.
Now, usually we're pretty solid. I'd say this is a rarity. We haven't had a terrible session of dropping for a
Gosh.
long time.
So frustrating. We'll fix it. I'll fix it.
well, I think it may not necessarily be just your computer, Jason. I think it's the weather because it's warming back up down here. I mean, I think let's see it's 54 degrees down here on the coast, but the last 2 days was really cold for us.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know what it is. I got to figure it out, but it's not gonna.
Well, it's not necessarily just the physical weather.
Yeah.
Cyberspace has weather of sorts too.
yeah.
If
Well,
there's
I'm just
problems
saying
along the route for someone.
I'm just saying that with all of the weather within the U.S., and I'm sure brain damage.
Who knows?
Canada?
Yeah,
Blame
Yeah,
Canada.
Blame Canadians.
but I think the weather tonight probably had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Is what I
Whether
was.
you like it or not.
Yeah.
So 3 experience points for everybody playing tonight. If you want to journal on this kind of intermediate, the meetings, the introductories, the backgrounds of getting here, feel free to. You'll get an extra experience points added to it. New players and folks that are under 50 experience points get double experience. So Dragon Lady and Hotshot will get 6 experience tonight. Yeah.
6 XP for standing there. That's pretty generous. Thanks,
Heck yeah,
Jason.
man! Got to get you
Oh,
some. Got to get some powers.
Well,
You
the-
didn't just stand there, Brian. You disconnected.
That's right.
Actively.
Speaking of which, I'm
disconnected.
kind of curious. All you guys have been there playing for a while. How much XP are you guys at?
It's a lot.
Ghost right now is at 106.
Yeah, I'm around 80 or 90.
The idea of the doubling it is just to get you into roughly the same ballpark of power.
Because
Get you to the point where you
after-
can start upping your character's power level.
Right, and
Yeah.
also after 50, we can start asking you for points towards the base.
When you get so there's an active point cap right now for anyone that's under that. Is it 50 points that does the active point cap, or is it
72
I think
active
it was.
70.
72.
What?
No.
It's 72, so that you can put a quarter advantage on a 60 active point power.
No.
No.
The point that I was saying is, at a level of XP, you can break the active point limit.
Okay, yeah, that's at 50.
Yeah, that's 50.
So there you go. So right now there is a 70 point active point limit on your powers, but when you get to 50 XP, obviously through doubling your XP, you can then break the active point cap with permission, of course, right? So all your changes like that will go through GM review, but it's possible at that point. So it doesn't take very long for new players to get up to that kind of punch level as the OGs. Doesn't take very long at all, actually.
No, not at 6 XP a session.
Yeah. Dragon Lady, any thoughts? Kurt, any? Obviously, not the best session that I would have wanted to introduce you into, but any first thoughts?
Oh, it's fine. No, I definitely like the group, and it was a good game with you guys. So sorry that my internet didn't always cooperate, but yeah, it's like significantly below freezing here, and we had a lot of wind tonight too, so that might have played a role.
Yeah, same on my side. We're glad to have you. Glad for your patience in this, Brian. Any thoughts or any hesitations you have coming into this? It's not your.
We're still
computer.
recording?
Yeah, we're still recording. You want me to stop the recording so you can say what you really feel?
Oh, no, that's fine. That was great being on Tabletop Simulator. I've waited a long time to be on here. And, it's kind of like, how do you say that, your first go out, all of a sudden it's Dr. Destroyer's stuff. It's maybe a little overwhelming. I certainly wasn't, I was expecting kind of you get to go move around for a little while, check some stuff out, do some, maybe, make a couple rolls, but it was like, oh, here you are. And you're on top of a roof and you see all kinds of all hell breaking loose, and there's vipers. So, well done. Thank you.
Welcome to the group. Welcome to the group.
It's always the deep end here.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
It only gets deeper.
We're glad to have you guys. Hope y'all are having a happy new year, and we'll catch up next Wednesday. Y'all take care.
Yep. Catch you then.
Thanks.
Bye.
All righty.
Take care.